place where they told you what to chase, told you how to run the race. Every move was on the page, but I didn't like their way. Had to fight and misbehave, had to find a way to change, had to leave to find my way. Caught up in a daydream, I beat my mind up there almost daily. It's how I pass time, no opinions safely. It's how I understand what I want in this place, see. Cause everybody wanna tell you bad things, what could go wrong, what fame brings. But success is a finicky thing, and if you ain't sure, no, it'll never be.
Good evening, happy hump day to all of my beautiful coffee beans. Come on in, we have some probative information to go over in the Nancy Guthrie case. Well, thank you so much, sweet Jenna.
Won't understand it all alone, that's okay. People I can't stand them, they don't want me to change, keep me where I'm standing. And I don't wanna be where I am, and I want something more, take a chance. It could be possibly my last dance, my last dance. And I don't wanna let myself down, myself.
So we're going to go ahead and go on in and get started since this is kind of breaking news. It's well, it's kind of double breaking news. It's kind of a positive and a negative because we're covering the case of Nancy Guthrie, as many of you guys know. Ooh, I can change this back. Give me just a second. So Nancy Guthrie timeline. There we go. We like that one. At least I like this one better. Anyways, guys, so we're covering the case of Nancy Guthrie, 84-year-old grandmother snatched out of her bed in the middle of the night by a masked gunman at her door. She didn't have a subscription, but, everything that goes through the internet has a residual data. Everybody thinks it's Nest and privacy. This has nothing to do with Nest. This is Google. This is, the feed. You have, in order for you to get on your phone, it has to feed through something. So they haven't, from my understanding, been able to find out any more information with the cameras. But we got breaking information. So we just learned, which is insanity. We had just learned today that it appears that law enforcement is now communicating with Mexican authorities. Now, part of my show tonight was going to be, why are we just doing this now? Why are we now reaching out to the Mexican authorities this should have been done weeks ago. Weeks ago. We're 60 miles from the frickin' border here. Okay, weeks ago. We also have polygraph. People are staging right now in front of a sheriff's department, which I have to believe that they would take the person out the back door or, do some other things to hide their identity. But I don't know. And so we're hearing that they're making contact with the border. And of course, my question is, why now, right? Associated with country. We got a lot going on. So come on in, guys. I'm going to say hi to you guys, and then we're going to go ahead and get started on tonight's show because we're just learning that they asked the border, yet we're just hearing that the border has been cleared. It's not the border is not an option, guys. This case is getting stranger by the day, folks. Stranger by the day. So we're dealing with a cleared family, which let's be honest, a person in the immediate family could potentially have been responsible for this case. We're hearing right now nobody in the family's responsible. Okay, so this must be something like cartel or, something like that. I mean, that's the next theory, right? Cartel, border. She just did a movie or whatever, a documentary on Tucson, Arizona, showing people where her and her mother love to go to eat and, bringing strangers basically into the home of her mother. And, again, at the time, it probably sounded like a good idea. Nobody thinks of a crazed lunatic going in and ripping somebody out of their bed in the middle of the night, right? Especially a grandma, an 84-year-old frail woman. So we have to think, okay, not the family, must be some cartel boss. Now we're finding out, nope, not the cartel boss. So now, where does that leave us? Aw, Southern Miss Gal, it's nice to see you. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat. I don't know why it didn't ding. I'll have to check that out. It ain't dinging. Thank you. Aw, Delilah treats. I'll get her some Delilah treats. She's expensive. She's definitely got some taste. Why do I look so big tonight? What the hell is going on here? There we go. I look freaking huge. I don't know what the hell happened. Am I like that on all of these? Did I change a setting on my camera? I'm usually I do have a big head in part. I mean, I'm just saying. Every now and again, I get a little inflated. So, breaking news, we do have something probative. I told you guys earlier today, when we were at our lunchtime, full moon, no UTV light needed in an electric quiet UTV coming in from the most rural desert side between houses. Interesting, William. Very interesting. Very interesting. So we had a lot of breaking news today, and it was subtle breaking news, but very much breaking news. And a lot of people weren't picking up on it. So if you weren't paying attention to today, there's a lot of movement. Now the polygraph, folks, we can't guarantee or state one way or another that it's any way associated with Nancy Guthrie. We've got plenty of law enforcement. We've got plenty of media staged outside of law enforcement headquarters or where this polygraph is going on. I'm not sure. I mean, we got to think of it. Tucson still has crime, whether Nancy Guthrie's case is going on or not. And you still have the same type of crimes. You got R's, SAs, homicides, burglaries, breaking and entering. You've got all kinds of things going on in Tucson. Maybe, maybe not in the specific area that she lives in, that Miss Nancy lives in, but you've got crime going on all day long in the Tucson area. It's like every other community that we are ever been in. They have their fair share of crime. So there's no telling that the polygraph, if there was a polygraph being administered, there's no telling that it was specifically associated with the Nancy Guthrie case. Now, if we find out it is, will it surprise any of us? Of course not. Of course not. So the polygraph. Now you guys are coming here and you're looking at my thumbnail saying, we just heard about them speaking to the Mexican border. Yeah, I understand that. But we're also learning that the person that said that is a day late and a dollar short. They've already ruled that avenue out. It is not, and this is the first I'm hearing about it too, about Mexico being ruled out, because I think that was the next step. Is this, so now we've got to remove that as a possibility from our theories. Mexico, folks, Mexico's off the table. This case, if I'm telling you, if I can say it clear and loud and from a rooftop with my bullhorn, I will. This case is getting crazier and crazier by the day. I don't know what this is. Now, I know that you guys have been worried about this Kayla Day. I've done a deep dive in this family. I don't know where Day is getting mixed up. I know that there is Guthrie family. There is multiple Nancy Guthries. And I think when you do a traditional Google search, it's picking up several different Guthries in their statement. Okay? So remember when we did the Guthrie thing? Remember it had also Guthrie or whatever his name is. Apparently he was really big back in the 40s or something like that, I think. But they said that was, and they're like, oh, wait a minute, that's wrong. And I'm like, well, it's saying right here, it was Annie when I was doing some research on Annie. And you're like, oh, no, that's not her dad. So it does have a habit. Desert Law, a new TV show, is based on Pima County. Also, funny insider edition on YouTube sleuths. Oh, mainstream media does not like sleuths. They do not like our profession of journalism. They like their profession of journalism. But you know what? The reason why people tune into us so much, social media in general, is Arlo. That's it. Thank you. The reason why I think people tune into social media is because we don't act like we got a stick shoved up our butt. You know, we're normal people. We don't mind being normal people. We don't mind our audience seeing us as normal people. And we kind of, at the end of the day, I look out there at these things and, Jonathan has people coming all day long coming to visit him. And these TV personalities, they don't. If they don't have their producers and somebody there, they're sitting by themselves all day long. Why? Because they don't resonate with their audience. That's plain and simple. They don't resonate with their audience. Like we know each other. We come in here every single day and say hi to one another. When we're out there, even if we have never seen each other eyeball to eyeball, when we finally see each other eyeball to eyeball, we feel like we've been friends forever. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, but I digress. I looked into the history of the Guthries. And the only other names that are coming up in their background is not Day. It's Cole and Buchanan. Cole and Buchanan are associated with this family of Guthries. I dug deep. I tried to find the linkage that truly is direct bloodline to this family from the Days, and I can't find it. So I thought that since I did the work, I wanted to tell you because I told you I would. I had just not, yesterday when we were talking about it, I had not done it yet. So I had some time today, and I went through and got that. So we have Cole and Buchanan, but no Day in this particular family's background. The sheriff pleaded with the abductor to let her go, and that's from Sheriff Chris Nanos. But before we get here, come on in. We're going to break it down for you, folks. We are going to break it down for you. And why are we breaking it down for you? We're breaking it down for you because we were just told that the authorities were reaching out to this investigative, to the Mexican authorities. Okay, here it is. A Mexican security officer, now this was a few hours ago, Mexican security officer, that's what brought this news all about. Now everybody's talking about Mexico, and polygraph. But the Mexico thing, let me just tell you, this has been ruled out, and it's been ruled out a long time ago. Okay? And I thought because this was referencing FBI, I thought this was interesting because I know some of our theories have been over in Mexico. So now this case just got crazier. So the family's ruled out. Cartels in Mexico's ruled out. What the hell does that leave us? And they're telling us that they're not really entertaining this being a robbery at night. That this is a kidnapping. Who the hell kidnaps a freaking grandma? And what is the motive? I'm losing my shit here. What is the motive? So it says a Mexican security officer who was not authorized to speak, publicly told the New York Times that the FBI had contacted authorities in Mexico, the state of Sonora, which shares a border with Arizona, but to investigate this alleged purchase related to Nancy Guthrie's case. But that line of the investigation, the official says, has already been ruled out. So now we know definitively Mexico's ruled out. So now we have the family ruled out and Mexico ruled out. I don't know, where the hell do we go from here? Because it's so hard to consider this being a random act of violence and they take her with them. And nothing missing? Are we sure nothing's missing from the house? Are we absolutely sure? Was there any type of safe maybe the family was unaware of? Was there something in that house that had some value that maybe the family wasn't aware of? Because for the life of me, I don't understand this. When was I have no idea. But apparently it was ruled out long before today. Long before today. I'm as shocked as you are. Trust me. Because we've talked about some Mexico on here a few times, especially around the time of, when Carlos was being looked into, because he was so close to the Mexican border. And we never even, nobody said that Mexico was ruled out. Mexico was ruled out. Everything was on the table. So obviously they're getting some stuff back, folks. They're getting some stuff back, but as far as Mexico, the FBI stated it's been ruled out. That has already been ruled out. It even says has already been ruled out by the FBI. The FBI has already ruled out this alleged connection with the Nancy Guthrie case. My mind's blown. My mind's blown. So they haven't ruled out the domestic labor, right? We haven't heard anybody being ruled out as far as that's concerned. I know that we got two people. We've got Carlos and the other guy. I can't remember this guy's name to save my freaking life, I swear. I don't know. I don't know why I can't remember the damn kid's name. Good gracious, I feel like I'm losing my ever-loving, snuff. What the hell are their names? Luke, good gracious. Luke. I'm losing my stuff. So, Luke and that Carlos guy, from what I'm understanding, hey, Brown Chicken, it's nice to see you. Teresa, B. Betty, OG, Baby Love, who knows? Luke, Zach, Carlos, Kayla, yeah. Kayla's not, I did go through the family line. I went through everything I could do. I mean, granted, Savannah's background check disappeared. Like I could see hers, and I went through hers when it first, I need to start remembering to take screenshots of this stuff or downloading the PDF. Because when these cases start heating up, these people have the money to get these stuff pulled, and I pulled them once, and they're sitting in my thing, but I don't download them. So I got to remember I need to start downloading the reports, because I can go back and they'll be gone. So Mexico's ruled out, folks. Mexico's ruled out. Families ruled out. What does that leave us? What does that leave us? I mean, we do have the domestic home people, but I would think if it was the domestic people, we wouldn't have a foreign DNA. You know what I'm saying? I could be wrong. Unless they thought Savannah had a large amount of cash there for some reason in the safe, maybe. I'm thinking something like that. But why would they take her with it when they realize that there's nothing there? You'd think they would have just, even if they executed her, you would think that they would drop her right then and there. The taking of her is what's just causing this mystery. I'm still going to say it's the family. The family isn't ruled out for me. Not until they put somebody else in handcuff, because he won't give us a reason why they've ruled the family out either, which I can tell you. I think I know why they've ruled at least Tommaso and Annie out. I have a good reason why I believe they ruled them out completely. And that's going to be most likely who you're leaning on. They've canvassed that neighborhood twice. That neighborhood is a nice neighborhood. The houses are more observable from the road. There's no way in the world Annie or Tommaso would be able to leave that house without a camera or something seeing them move. There's no way to get from their house over to Nancy's house without being seen. So I think that they've ruled them out with good shoe leather investigation. They've went through all the videos, all the traffic cams, all the they didn't leave the house. It might be just like that. They didn't leave the house. You can't be in two places at one time. So, and not only that, but we're looking at an SUV. Now, granted, there's going to be some people that say they could have hired someone. I'm going to say there's always a digital footprint. They took their phones, they took their computers, they took their internet service provider. They should have a lot of information from that. I mean, a lot. I really think that they're cleared because they're cleared. But I understand what you're saying. But I also, with that, I wanted to give you my opinion, which is just an opinion. So I could be 100% wrong, but I think we need to look at other avenues because law enforcement's looking at other avenues. Are they going to circle back? I don't know. They cannot rule anyone out right now. That's BS. They have checked every cartel boss in the U.S. ? No, so they cannot rule them out. Whoever is saying that is talking out their hats. Not necessarily. I mean, at the end of the day, in law enforcement, just my opinion. I mean, yeah, I get where you're going with this, but of course they haven't checked out every cartel boss in the United States or even in Mexico for that matter. But why would a cartel boss want an 84-year-old woman? I think there's a simpler explanation for this. We haven't found it yet. Do I know what it is? No, if I had a crystal ball, baby, I'd be getting me some $200,000. I'm just saying, I don't have a crystal ball, so I don't know. I am still leaning on the inside job, though. I am with you, Denise. I think we need to back up just a little bit. I think our focus is too laser focused, right? And I don't think it fits right now. I think we need to take our focus up. You know how you have a camera and you know how you have the lens that can scope out and get real close for that nice, beautiful close up. Sometimes when the close up is starting to get blurry, you just got to back it up a little bit, right? And so I'm there. That's where I'm at, Denise. I think it's an inside job, but I don't believe it's the family. So we have to look elsewhere. Now, could it be somebody, could it be somebody in their line? The weird thing is I don't see, even though they've lived in this area and her mom's lived in this area for a really long time, something like, I think she's lived in that house. I think they said that she's lived in that house since the 70s or 80s or something like that. Some really, really, they've been there for a long, long, long time. I even heard that they purchased the house for like $85,000 back in the, I want to say 70s or 80s. I can't remember off the top of my head. So she's been there for a really, really long time. So, being there for almost 50 years and having no problems, no crime, no criminal activity, no crime. You've lived. Think about how comfortable you are in your house. I don't know how long each of you guys have lived in your home, but think about, even after living there a year, how comfortable you are in your home, how you feel safe, comfortable. Can you imagine living in your home 50 years? The comfort level you have, the safety level you have, the stability that you have inside that home. It just doesn't bode with a burglary or robbery. It just doesn't. And we've been saying this for days. And even back when you guys were pointing at Tommaso Cioni, I was always cautioning everybody in this chat, be careful, because it's probably not going to be him. But I believe you guys are on the right track. Remember me saying all that? I believe you guys are on the right track. It's somebody, I kept emphasizing, it's somebody like Tommaso Cioni. And I kept pointing out somebody that's probably familiar with the house and familiar with her, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And that very well may be true, but it changed slightly because we seen a masked gunman. And when we seen a masked gunman, it didn't look like anybody we knew. It looked like somebody much, much younger. So now it brings you back. Now you have to pull back because these people here, well, this doesn't look like any of them. So now we got to come back. We got to go back to the drawing board. If it's not the family, and it's not a cartel, and it's not a Mexico, hit or something like that, what could it be? If it feels like an inside job, what about the housekeeper? Where's her son? What does her son do? What about the pool person? We saw 5 or 6 pool people come over to the house. 5 or 6. At least 2 or 3 pool people come over to the house to clean her pool. How many times have one of them brought their children, their young child, their son, or something like that? Or talked about their job to their family? Oh my gosh, you wouldn't believe it. You'll never believe whose pool I cleaned. Right? Not realizing that they're giving this person all this information about this job. So yeah, it feels personal, but it doesn't. So could this be because maybe it's a situation where either a neighbor, a person that worked for her, a person that worked next to her may have just been discussing something with the wrong person, and that person just happened to start paying attention to that house and then it sounds like a few months ago started acquiring a firearm, a backpack, a holster, just some weird stuff, burglary type of stuff. But again, what is the purpose? If it wasn't sexually motivated and it wasn't for money, then it was for something else. And what would that something else be? We said it once before. Somebody being fired. Somebody, a contract falling through. Was there any work that was going to be put on her house that she decided not to do? Was there any person in the last year that she fired? Maybe somebody was stealing from her and she caught them, and now their whole entire world just fell apart because they got caught stealing and they blame this old lady, this frail old lady for that. I believe it was 1984 that they purchased the home. Thank you, Lisa Ann. I appreciate that. The person at the door is a patsy. Robin thinks the person at the door is a patsy. Maybe that person is, but they look like an idiot. I'm shocked that we don't have a better DNA profile. I'm shocked that we don't have something in CODIS, because that was one of my theories, was the fact that this person took her with them because of, the same reason why they took the camera off. And I also learned something else, again, rumor until I can prove it otherwise. But I heard that, believe it or not, the door was opened before the camera was ripped off the wall out of the front, from what I'm hearing. Jamie thinks it's a distraction. They did it to stop information she knows, in my opinion. Well, now she's going to be quitting. She's going to be quitting, potentially quitting the Today Show because of this. It was said it involved the will, which narrows down to family, and the person behind all of this had asked Nancy for money or something valuable, and she wouldn't do it. She turned them away. Well, I have to think it's not her children. It's probably somebody in the family, maybe in the in-laws or something like that. I mean, they've lived out there a long time. Who's to say? I mean, if she lived out there 50 years and doesn't have a whole lot of family in that general area, she has to have a lot of friends. And those friends have to have some friends and some children, and, you know, maybe children that aren't doing so well for themselves. Maybe children that have decided to get a substance abuse or, alcohol abuse or something like that. He got away with it. He's not got away with it. It's only been 18 days. It's hard to say somebody got away with it at 18 days. That's kind of stupid. Nancy niece, I will tell you, Stephanie, that's unfortunately not accurate information. Kayla is not the niece of Nancy. She might be a niece to a Nancy Guthrie, but she's not a niece to this Nancy Guthrie. I've went through the entire bloodline of this family here, and the only other family members that come back to this family here that I can find are the Coles and Buchanans, but no days to this family here. Now, there are multiple other Nancy Guthries, and I know when I did a Google search before for Annie Guthrie, they brought in another Annie Guthrie father and grandfather, and it's not hers. It wasn't her dad or her grandfather. It was Arlo Guthrie is what they tried to say. Annie Guthrie's. Anyways, long story short, or maybe it was Nancy Guthrie, I can't remember. Long story short, it was mixing the few Nancys up and a few Annies up in the Google. So I had to go to, I've got special reports. I pay for a service to pull background searches on people and to dive into people's lives. I pay a monthly fee. Been paying monthly fee for this service for 5 years, over 5 years, right? Because I had this service long before I even came into true crime, because I was using it to search the politicians. And so long story short, I've been with this program for a long time, and I cannot find anything with Day affiliated with this Guthrie family. Not even distance. Okay, not even Terry, none of them. Not Days. No Days. We've got Cole and Buchanan. Cole and Buchanan with this family of Guthries. Again, multiple family of Guthries, but this whole thing with Kayla, unfortunately, I didn't have a chance to look down that avenue yesterday, but I did carve out some time today and really did do a good search of the Guthrie family. And unfortunately, I mean, it sounded like a great lead, but it just didn't pan out. It's just a lead that didn't hold water. That's all. So Kayla Day is probably associated with a Guthrie family, just not this Guthrie family. And so I did take a deep dive. But for the folks that are just coming in, we don't know if the polygraph that everybody's talking about is related to anything to do with the Guthrie family or the Guthrie case. We also learned today that they are just making contact with Mexico. And I just want to inform everybody, which was shock to me, that Mexico has been ruled out. The Mexico Avenue has been ruled out. So is Kayla's mom? I don't know. I didn't look into Kayla. I looked into this Guthrie family, and I followed this Guthrie family tree. And there is no Days in this Guthrie family. I didn't because it didn't pan out. I've got my eyes. I've got my plate full just with this case alone. I'm not adding. Once I excluded Kayla as being part of this family, I'm not going to dive into Kayla's family to find out which Guthrie family she's affiliated with, if she's affiliated with a Guthrie family at all. It's, you know, it's meaningless for me, for my purposes. It's only me searching and my team. So, and my team doesn't, I don't think that they pay for the services like I pay for. I've never asked them, so I don't know if they do, but I can tell you that nobody's been able to fix this bridge, but I don't know, Robin, if her mom's name's Penny. I didn't look into her. I just looked into this Guthrie family, and this Guthrie family did not have days affiliated with them. Again, Cole and Buchanan was what was affiliated with this Guthrie family. And so when I was going to do my show today about, you know, why are they just now reaching out to the Mexican authorities, right? That was going to be my show. And as I was doing research on the show to call out the Pima County Sheriff again, we get, I as part of my research, I get this little snippet right here. And I'm like, well, hot dog, you know, this is another tidbit of information, breaking news. We didn't know Mexico was ruled out. Well, now we know Mexico not only is ruled out, but has been ruled out. So Mexico's not even in the playing field. So I think we're really starting to take a focus and really focus. Guys, we can't constantly saying law enforcement's lying about everything, okay? If you're just anti-law enforcement, then you're never going to believe anything. There's nothing I can do, nothing I can say. You know, there's just nothing, okay? Law enforcement has more information than we the people, okay? And trust me, no matter how you feel about a case, feeling and emotions don't trump hardcore evidence that they have that we don't possess. So at some point, we've got to trust law enforcement. They're saying the Guthrie family, Annie, Savannah, CAMRON, and their spouses, 6 people, have been ruled out. Okay, have been ruled out. Nobody else has been ruled out. They've been ruled out. And will they be coming out to rule out Carlos and I can't. I don't know why I can't remember the guy's name. Good gracious. I've said it like 15 times in the last 2 shows, and I still, every damn time I come across the names, I keep... Oh, good gracious. I'm not even going to try anymore. So we're just going to call them the guys 2 miles down the road. It keeps me safe, okay? The guys 2 miles down the road. I know Luke. Zach, Brian, Luke, Brian, Zach, right? And that Zach and Luke, right? I should be able to remember this stuff. Good gracious. Brain, I'm getting old. Betty's getting old. All right, so I don't know if they're going to come out and rule, clear them or not. It seems like they both lawyered up. It seems like Carlos is trying to seek a quick payday. You can see it in his face. He can't even keep a straight face. He's got a shit-eating grin all over his face every time the camera's in his face. He's just not good. He's just not good in front of cameras. So we don't know if the polygraph test was related to, at least for right now. I guess we can go to the other guy. I'm okay. I can do this. I'll call this one. Okay, so let me take that off. Let's take that off while we work it, so you guys don't have to see all the work. Discard the changes. Thank you. There we go. Okay. There we go. So I'll put the volume back on here. I know everybody wants to know what's going on. So we have both of the things while we're on here. so you guys can at least watch what. Oh, good gracious! Watch what I'm watching. There we go. So he must be coming back from the sheriff's department. It sounds like the sheriff's department didn't really produce a whole lot of results because, let's put it down here so you guys can see it kind of mid-place. Because of this most likely not being related to Nancy Guthrie, the doohickey. Let me see here. Let me see if I can turn the volume on now. See if he's saying anything. No, it's not talking.
Abduction.
So I don't know what happened, but we can
What
get
is
back.
Black Rock Coffee? I want to see that. Black Rock Coffee. What is that?
It's a chain, kind of like Starbucks, but its own.
Black Rock Coffee. It's a
Yeah.
Starbucks-like thing?
Yeah, similar.
I've never seen them on the East
Looks
Coast.
like they're
First time
going.
I've
They
heard
must
of
be
Black-
going back.
Heard of Black Rifle.
This is when they were at the sheriff's. This is related to the polygraph. You know, there was a polygraph type of situation going on, and that proved. I don't think that ever panned out to be anything associated with Nancy. So doohickey, yeah. That's Zach's Range Rover been released. Yeah, I think it was released when they were all released, to be honest with you. So I don't think anything really came of this. I'm not hearing him speaking at all. See how the
You
media?
can throw it back there.
It's like all the media's there.
All right. Just got to make one pit stop for 857.
Speculate what happened.
So they gave media
Unusual
parking
traffic.
out there.
You
Okay,
should
so
reach
that
your
must be where we're going. Now they're kind of just driving back.
Go down by the U of A. We're almost there.
Well,
Where they have the block parties for the football games.
That's where we're at right now. So we don't really have a whole lot going on. I mean, that was the breaking news. The breaking news was Mexico, but Mexico was diffused by the FBI, and it sounds like it's not a path forward for this case. So no FBI, no immediate family.
Maybe
they all
draw.
live in the Tucson area?
Yeah, they all live on campus unless they get a off-campus house. The dorm and stuff are down there. You can kind of see them. Brand new dorms.
Is it safe around here?
Technically, on the campus, it's safe. They have their own police department.
Oh, they do. Campus police.
Campus police.
Diversion to real activity. Christy, she might look as if she sees your message.
Campus police.
If not, she will check later.
All right, we're going towards the Catalina foothills.
I don't know, Christy. Send me. Usually, the best way to speak to me is bullhornbetty@gmail.com. If it's in the chat when we have a lot of people, which we don't really have too many, 217, but when I'm running the show and have a presentation for you, it's hard for me to read the chat. It's hard for me to read the chat.
Red light traffic. Red light.
Hey, Turkey Man, it's nice to see you. So since you're just coming in here, I'll give you, so pipe it down so they can. Jamie, you might want to chill in this chat. We don't talk to other people like that. Just to let you know, it's a good way to get blocked.
Right? Yeah, it's good.
Oh yeah, he's taking off. Another chopper taking off.
What in the hell is going on?
Chopper taking off.
What in the world is going on in Tucson? For the life of me, can't.
The hospital roof. They slam people on the roof, huh?
Yeah, the helicopter flies out to like the Rio Rico.
Okay.
You know, and
Far
they get
Rio
the rural
Rico,
places
which is
and they bring
where
them back to
Carlos
the
was
big
picked up.
hospital.
So there's nothing going on. We don't really have
I mean,
a
do
whole
they do
lot.
ambulances out there?
We don't really have a whole lot going on in Nancy's house. I noticed that there are some media that is packing up and they're done. And I'm hoping that they're not done. This lady needs to be found. And if mainstream media starts packing up, you know, it's just, this is the way it is with mainstream media. You know, it's just, it's irritating as all get out. You know, they get their clicks and the views and they're ready to move on. They don't care about really helping the family. They don't even when it's one of their own. Look at this. Even when it's one of their own, they don't even really care. Yeah, we still have a circus out there, but I'm noticing every day that circus is getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. And pretty soon it's going to be left up to social media to keep the ball going because, you know, mainstream media got their whatever they're going to get out of it, and that's it. You know, it's dead end. Steven says it's a dead end case. I don't know. It's that's a sad case, you know, unfortunately. It's sad, and it just shows you, I mean, and it's so real because I think it's a good it's a good story to cover because I think it brings the reality of crime to everybody's front door. I mean, if this can happen to a beloved co-host on NBC, if violent crime can happen to this lovely family, I mean, it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter how much you're worth, it doesn't matter. Crime can come and creep up on your door any given day or night. And we need to remember that, you know. I think that this case right here, it scares people. Because we look at these people in our normal life, and we look at them as, you know, sometimes we look at them as we wish we had their life. We wish we had the opportunities that they've had, and how, you know, we idolize them and idolize this and idolize that. And then we see this and we realize they're no different than us. They bleed too. They have crime. They have pain. I mean, this lady is on the Bullhorn Betty show, and she has an $8 million contract with NBC. I mean, that, you know, that is scary. I think that scares everybody, and it scares Americans to death because we work so hard to try to keep ourselves safe. And look at this, like these people that live in the Tucson area are trying to do the right thing for the environment and have this, you know, no lights to help. But look at all these creepers it's brought to their back door. I mean, the stuff that we saw creeping around at night scares the crap out of people. It scared the crap out of me, and I'm here in Florida. You know, I can't imagine the adult children around this country that are thinking of their own parents living out in that dark desert by themselves. I'm pretty sure that this has kind of shook a lot of people across the country that may not even be living in Tucson, that might just have their parents living alone, and this might shake them to their core. So I have a lot of feelings that this right here has is making a lot of people move their parents closer to them, or they're moving closer to their parents because of this story right here. Because of this story right here. This scares us. Now, does this have anything to do with Savannah's job? I don't know. Something happened. Something happened. And the only thing I can think of is the workers at her house or the people in her community, because people have to drive, but I'm hearing this is off the beaten path, that this is not like, this is in this community quite a bit, you know? This is not just right there. So what the hell happened? I can tell you this is not no burglary. This is not a robbery. This is clearly not the immediate family. Who else was in that will? If nobody else was in that will, then this has to be something different. Who did she piss off? Whose contract did she end? Who did she fire? Who did she get fired? What if she did nothing? Did they ever say how he entered her home? They keep thinking the back door, but I haven't heard it from official sources. We can assume it's the back door. Yep, lady. Mexico is out. It's been out. It's been out. We just didn't know it. Oh, thank you, Valerie. See, right here behind me in the grayed area. Right up here. This is what it says for all those that are coming in. A Mexican security official who was not authorized to speak publicly told New York Times the FBI had contacted authorities in the Mexico state of Sonora, which shares a border with Arizona, to investigate an alleged purchase related to Nancy Guthrie's case. And it states right here, it's the last sentence. But that line of investigation, the officials said, has already been ruled out by the FBI. So the FBI has already ruled out Mexico. Mexico is not on the table. The Guthrie siblings, the three siblings, Annie, Savannah, CAMRON, and their spouses, not on the table. Not on the table. Mexico out, siblings and spouses out. So where does that leave us? And by the way, if you guys are wondering and saying, but the, FBI ruled this out, but Pima County didn't. They're investigating together. This is a statement. If the FBI states it, it goes for Sumner County, okay? So that is a big move, but here's what my issue is, Sig. My issue is that this has been ruled out for some time. It wasn't just ruled out today. This is the first time we're hearing it. So now we know definitively Mexico's out. The siblings are out. So what comes next? I agree, Mexico out, but I don't about the siblings are out. Nobody wants to believe the siblings are out. I know, I get it. Mexico doesn't make sense. And I get why it's hard for people to believe that it's not the siblings, but we didn't want to believe that this random guy by the name of Brian Koberger was responsible for the Idaho 4 either. We just knew it had to be somebody that was closer to them. Right? Don't forget that. True story. True story, folks. So, we have to remember law enforcement's not out here trying to make friends with these people. So I've learned when they come out and give us a concrete, this is not it. I've learned to believe them. When they're wishy-washy, it's a different story, but this is not something he's wishy-washy on. He didn't come back today and recant it. He's not coming back tomorrow and recanting it. He's made his statement. Matt Lauer had something to do with it, with his firing. Maybe. I mean, you know what? It could be anybody. It was somebody that knew this family, in my opinion. but it's not the family. It's not the family. And it doesn't sound like it's the house, the domestic employees either, but because they didn't rule them out, we can't rule them out. This seems like something different, and I can't put my finger on it. I really can't. And I know a lot of people are in the same boat where we are all kind of feeling like we want to, because the reason why we want to believe that it's the family is everything. It just makes, it's clean. It makes sense. It's clean. It bodes with statistics. It just has to be, okay? It's just that's why this is so hard for us to wrap our heads around. And had they not cleared the family, then publicly cleared the family, which typically they do. Even J.D. Huff and Fruitland cleared the mom and dad publicly because it was just getting to the point where the public was so focused on them that it was causing such, and it wasn't them, but there was a lot of public speculation that it was the mom and dad, but it wasn't. It was literally the neighbors, and their child was seriously abducted. So I have seen law enforcement come out and clear people before, just like they're doing here. They did it in the Idaho 4 as well, because so many people were harping on innocent people. And I think that that's what happened, is that there's just so much, people were harping so viciously at these people that it was becoming a safety hazard for them not to clear them. They either had to shit or get off the pot. They either need to clear them or clear some of them and move on. And I think they've done their due diligence. And I do believe law enforcement has cleared the family, because I never believed it was CAMRON or Savannah. The only people I thought it could be was Annie and Tommaso. Those were the only two people that came up on my radar. And the reason why I'm comfortable with their findings is because we know for a fact they did not canvass that neighborhood once, but they canvassed that neighborhood twice. And I truly believe that if there was a scintilla of possibility of either one of them leaving in the middle of the night to go do this or to be around that house, I think that there would have been some type of evidence of that was produced from one or both of those sweeps. And there was nothing. And actually, as a matter of fact, I don't believe there was nothing. I believe there was enough information there to prove to law enforcement that Annie nor Tommaso had anything to do with it. And that's the reason why I'm okay with the findings. Had I not physically seen them do the canvassing of the area, had I not physically seen them inside the home doing testing, had I not seen them do those types of things at Annie and Tommaso's house, I would be right there with you. But at the end of the day, they did do those things. Those results have come back. They're not responsible. So again, I wasn't focused with CAMRON or Savannah or their family. I was only worried about Annie and Tommaso. But again, 2 canvasses of the neighborhood. They did a testing of their home. They never got a search warrant to go in their home, which already shows me law enforcement had a low priority on them to begin with. If they even had a scintilla that they thought that these kids did it or whatever, they would have made sure that they had a search warrant. So they must have had pretty good information. And it might have been a situation where their neighbor's camera just happened to shoot right perfectly on their house, where if they breathed, they would have seen them breathe. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to put that into perspective. But don't think I'm going to beat you up because you still think Tommaso or Annie had something to do with it. I mean, I understand why it's hard to get rid, to shake that theory, because it just fits perfectly. It solves all the problems. It explains everything, and that's what it is. But unfortunately, it's not going to be the path of least resistance. It's not going to be the easy path. That means something more went on here, something more that defies logic. If we knew what the motive was, we would know who the person is. So clearly, the motivation has not been clearly defined yet. Is this some crackpot that saw a documentary and decided they were infatuated with Savannah and just wanted to hurt her? I mean, it could be. But I think the likelihood of that even is low. So I'm confused. I wish I could be this person with this crystal ball and say, guys, this is what this story's telling me. I mean, we're leaning this way, but this is, I feel like I'm at the Idaho 4 juncture again. Like, I feel like we're going to find out that it's a boogeyman like Brian Koberger, you know? Like, I feel like that's what we're going to end up finding out with this case. But I don't know for a fact. I really don't. So anyways, guys, take it for what you will. Pass it around, clip it. If you found something usable and useful with our breakdown of the case, I know that everybody's been, watching this case for as much information. We're trying to make sure that we give you factual information, especially with timelines. Like we theorize. I mean, don't get me wrong. We theorize, we speculate. We think that's good. We think it's good, but we don't speculate on conjecture or emotion or rumors, right? As long as we're building on the facts, right? As long as we know what our factual information is, we can take that factual information and say, oh, well, maybe this might fit this avenue or this avenue or this avenue. Those I'm fine with. Right? And so I know that a lot of people want factual information. So now we know that the family has been cleared and Mexico is out. Mexico is out. So if you had a theory that this is a cartel boss, that they drug her across the country line, and moved her into Mexico, unfortunately, that theory doesn't hold water. The FBI has already cleared that theory of possibility. So it's just, sometimes it's just clearing all the dirt away to see what's left, and I feel like that's in the process we're doing. We're doing the process of elimination right now. And the process of elimination kind of sucks, right? And but it gives us clarity. But when we hope and wish that something will be easier than it is and it becomes more complicated, we feel a little let down. And I think that that's kind of where we're all at right now, is we're a little let down because we want this case to be over. We want Nancy brought home. We want the people that did this to her to pay to be held accountable for it. And although we don't know the family, it seems like this family, there's something underlying that just doesn't feel right. And so it makes us, look with a side eye, because typically in cases, it always is the family or somebody very, very close to the victim. Unfortunately in this, and fortunately in this, it's not the immediate family, but it doesn't rule out somebody close to her or somebody close to that person that's close to her. So we still got a lot of work to do. There are still a lot of subjects out there, and there's a lot of random people, just con artists. So we've just got to move on, and let's just keep beating our heads. Something's going to break here. What does this mean to you guys? I need some direction here. I need some help. bullhornbetty@gmail.com. bullhornbetty@gmail.com. I really want you guys to think. Put your thinking cap on. I need you guys to put your big brains on. And I need you guys to tell me because you guys did it one time. We didn't know how the blood on the outside of that house got there without footprints in it, but I think we solved that. I truly believe she was thrown over somebody's shoulder and drug out of the house that way, and that's why she was dripping behind them, and that's why there was no footprints. I believe, and that came from one of our audience members. I couldn't figure out how to explain it, and somebody explained it, and I believe that fits. So I'm calling on you guys again. I'm calling on you guys again to help me out, to do this again. We need to figure out what this means. Immediate family members are out. Mexico is out. What is left? What is your perspective? Knowing those are the facts, what are your perspectives? Whose tree do we sniff up next? Whose tree do we need to shake? Where do we go from here? Start putting on those thinking caps, folks. Let me know at bullhornbetty@gmail.com. bullhornbetty@gmail.com. Oh, thank you, Brenda. In my opinion, a crazy stalker of Savannah. Good perspective. Does Savannah have any stalkers? Maybe we need, let's write that down. Actually, let's ask. Why not? I mean, we're here. We got a few moments. We don't have a rush, right? We're not in a rush. So let's find out. If I can learn to spell. Okay, based on recent reports surrounding a February 2026 investigation into the disappearance of Savannah Guthrie's mother, experts and commentators have raised concerns about the potential of stalkers targeting the Today Show anchor. At least as of the latest reports, there have been no publicly identified named stalkers confirmed by law enforcement, but the targeted nature of the attack on her family has increased speculation regarding this threat. So we did hear early on in the case, and we had it confirmed by Sheriff Chris Nanos, that his investigators were in direct contact with Savannah Guthrie's security team. Maybe that has something to do with it. I heard people using mines and tunnels. Yeah, I've heard about those too. I did. Yep. Maybe it involves her hometown of northern Kentucky. Interesting. It don't have to be Savannah. Nancy could have one. Okay, interesting. Praying for Nancy's safe return. Amen. The real me too. 36 months, 3 years. Good gracious, my friend. Good gracious. And still rolling strong. I get to see you next week. This time next week we'll be hanging out. We'll be rubbing those elbows. How do you know not Mexico? Right behind me. Oh, sure. Sorry, you just got here. Hold on. It is right here. The FBI has confirmed it. So this just came out a few hours ago, and it says the Mexican security officials who was not authorized to speak publicly told the New York Times that the FBI had contacted authorities in the Mexican state of Sonora, which shares a border with Arizona, to investigate an alleged purchase between related to Nancy Guthrie's case. But that line of investigation, the officials said, has already been ruled out by the FBI. So there you guys go. There is the receipts to my, it has been ruled out by the FBI. And it wasn't ruled out by the FBI today. So they've ruled out this theory a while ago. It just was not known to us. So now, as of today, as of 3 hours ago, it is officially known to us. Mexico is out. Mexico is out. All right, guys, that is what I have to say to you. That's all I have for you today. I told you I wouldn't come back unless we had something probative. I've been still packing up this office, so I've been boxing up a mess. And if you guys know, it's not as easy as me just throwing stuff in a box and calling it a day. I've got to put it on. I've got to log everything because I've got so much stuff. If I put it in a box, it's got to be logged on a spreadsheet so I know where it's at. Okay. I've got a lot of books that I need to get to at any given time. I'm trying to leave the ones that I use frequently alone, like my Black Laws Dictionary and my writing stuff, because I've got a lot of stuff for proper writing and citations and stuff like that. So I keep all of those out. But it's been a lot of typing, and look what I found. I don't know when I got this, who got this for me, but it's so funny because this we got for Christmas.
That would be another example of, as you say, fake news.
And look what I found. This was a game. I don't know who gave this to me, but I haven't played this game. It's called Fake News, Real News, and it's like got Donald Trump, and this was back when that one blonde hair lady was doing his stuff. I can't remember what her name was. and of course Sean Spicer down there, and there was a lot of statements they made their first time in office, and I've never opened it. So there we got it. There it is, still in the packaging. So I thought this would be funny because I didn't even realize we got a fake news game and a fake news button.
You know why? Fake news.
So I bought you the fake news button. I remember that, but I don't know. This right here was in my cabinet. It's been in my cabinet for years. So I have to thank my mom or somebody from I don't know. I've had to have had this in this cabinet. I mean, I've been divorced now for 4 or 5 years, and this was in there long before that. So, I just found it funny. I just found it interesting. So maybe we'll play a game. Maybe we'll in one of our downtimes when we don't have such a hectic schedule. It's probably antique now. It probably is, Kara. It probably is. Oh my gosh. Yes. So,
It's all fake news.
it's the Washington edition too. By the time we get done playing that game, we're all going to feel like we went swimming in the swamp and need to take a shower. Yeah, we need to do game night. And this is old. This is not recent. So we're going to have to go back in memory too. So anyways, all right, guys, you have a great night. We'll see you in the morning. What's tomorrow? Tomorrow's Thursday. Thursday's going to be anywhere between 8 and 9. We'll get started on if you guys know me, you're going to want to sub up if you want to keep in, because I have no set schedule. We know that we have a show in the morning, we have a show in the evening, but we don't know what time those shows are. Sometimes the evenings are more sporadic than the mornings. So mornings are usually 6 a.m. or 9 a.m. Sometimes we'll roll a little early if I've got enough to talk about. Sometimes I just want to, I see if we have 25 people in chat in any given time, I'm turning the cameras on so we can chat. And we'll wait for everybody else to come in. But if I see that we have 25 people waiting, I don't care if we're not starting for like an hour. I'm going to go live right then and just let us chat until it's time to go live, so we can open it up and just kind of chit chat. So just to let you guys know. Anyways, guys, rock it out with your coffee beans out. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Until next time, please be safe, but more importantly, kind to one another, and say prayers for everybody in chat, because we got a lot of people that need prayers, from the Guthrie family to Turkey Man to Mr. and Mrs. E and to everybody else that's in the chat, because everybody's struggling with a little something. So just say a prayer for thy neighbor, and hopefully, it'll be paid forward back to you. And you guys have a great day, and God bless.